guys, it's Betty here. I wanted to do a quick share video of a project I created. Susan, who is Iowa2308, was hosting a tag swap for the month of August, September. Tags are actually due tomorrow on September 14th. And so there were very few requirements for the tag swap. Basically the size of the tag as well as a vintage distress look. And then also you had to, the theme was sewing, and you had to include a dress form of some kind on your tag. And it could be a die cut, it could be a charm, it could be a stamp. So really left open the possibilities for each person to create their own tag. And the only other requirement was that it had to be a portrait. When your dress form had to go portrait on the tag. So I wanted to share the tag that I created. We also made 6 tags in total. So the first thing that I did was I cut out of a manila folder just this, the book plate die from Tim Holtz. I cut out the tag from that, and then I covered it on both sides. I should just show you quickly the tag. I covered it on both sides with some pattern paper from the K & Company Ancestry.com paper pad. I don't know if you can see that slowly. I love these papers, you guys. I knew right away that I wanted to use this pad, partially because I knew it had a real vintagey, distressed look to it, and I also knew there was a lot of pretty blue-green papers in here, and that was, I wanted to do my dress form in that color combo and with the browns. It's really pretty, but I think they have this pad at Michael's. I know Joanne.com has it online. So if you're interested, check it out there. The next thing I did was I cut out a dress form also from the manila folder, and I adhered it to a piece of chipboard that I had cut out from the sewing room die from Tim Holtz, and then I adhered them together and did the technique on them. And I actually was really going for this rusted enamel Tim Holtz technique, where you rub the distress ink pad directly on the tag, you pour the clear embossing powder over it, flick it off, and then you distress it. And in this case it was weathered wood and I think vintage photos. So, and I loved how that turned out. This is what I was envisioning for my tag. I don't know if you can even really see just how cool that is, but I was just never really able to get my dress form to replicate this. I don't know if it was what the deal was, but I would always come out with like too much embossing powder sticking on them, and so it didn't quite work out exactly as I had hoped, but I still think it gives, you know, and they're all a little bit different. I still think it gives a real vintagey look to it, a real distressed tag. On this one I actually used broken china rather than the weathered wood, and so I completed that. After I did that, I took some paper from this old book, and trust me, it was hard. It's hard for me to cut into a book, you guys. My mom's a librarian, but this is like the perfect paper. This is a book they had discarded from the library, and she gave it to me specifically because she knew I wanted to use it for some of my projects. So thanks, Mom. And so I just adhered that with some sticky strip, and I just kind of pleated it by hand. Nothing too technical here. It was, and then after I pleated it, I went over it with the old paper distress ink by Tim Holtz, and yeah. So, and then after I did that, I adhered some stickles just to the edge. And I got these stickles last Christmas. I'm not really sure. They were in like a 3-pack at Michael's, and it didn't give you the colors of the stickles, but it's kind of got a real gold bronzy hue to it. So I thought that would work out well with this tag. So I don't know if you can kind of see the sparkle there. And then adhered those, before adhering them to the tag, I took some lace and I'm way off camera, guys, sorry. I took some cream lace and I actually spritzed it with some glimmer mist, and the two colors that I used were actually sand and maple. There's less the drying time kind of involved in this whole tag, and then I adhered the lace border, and then I actually used the vintage photo and I stamped this scissors set, which came from this Crafty Secrets stamp set, which is called So Special, SEW. And so there's the scissors right there. And then I used my Heirloom Gold Perfect Pearls, and I used that on there. So I don't know if you can really see, but it's in vintage photo, and then the dress form's kind of glaring, but it is stamped in, or it does have the perfect pearls on top of it. So I had also, just on the back side of this piece of pattern paper, stamped the, I have these in here backwards, but I stamped a little sewing machine, also from a Crafty Secrets set called Material Girl. It's just a little set, but sorry for the glare. And then I did that in vintage photo, let it dry, and then I covered it with glossy accents, and then I fussy cutted it out. And then after that, I just took a little Recollections flower in the brown and put it on the front. So that's the front of the tag. Oh, and then I used a little trim on the dress form as well, which I just picked up at Joann's. It's a Simplicity ribbon or trim, and I just really thought it was cute with this little double layered skirt here. So and then on the back I used the same stamp sets, and I stamped the images with vintage photo, and then I embossed them with clear embossing powder. I put a little, we also had to have a little pocket on the back to put our information, and I still have to finish putting my information on here. But I just cut more of the pattern paper, and then I added a little brown vintage button, and that comes from the Wanted by Cosmo Cricket button set. They had some cute little brown, like the perfect little brown buttons in there. I also had stamped on the piece of the pattern paper in vintage photo again, the little spool, and I ended up putting glossy accents over that, although it's kind of hard to see. And then I used a dress form from one of the sets, and this is actually like a little mini envelope, a little mini linen envelope that I got on clearance at a local scrapbooking store, and I cut them in half, and I used again my old paper distress ink on them, and then vintage photo on the edge, and then stamped the dress form. So anyway, I hope you guys like my tags. I will post hopefully better photos than I'm totally off camera most of this video, but I'm gonna post some photos on my blog. Please check it out and comment, let me know what you think, and please hit the subscribe button if you have not. I just recently noticed I have 100 subscribers, so I think that means I owe you all a good giveaway really soon. So